Stop. This will be the most important video you will ever watch. Before you take another course, read another book, or try another strategy to build wealth, you need to hear this, because I'm about to reveal why nothing has worked so far, and it has nothing to do with your effort, your intelligence, or even your opportunities. The truth? Your nervous system is sabotaging you, and until you fix this, wealth will always slip through your fingers. What I'm sharing in this video will completely change how you see money, success, and your own potential. This is the missing piece no one talks about. What if I told you that there's a simple way to live a life of abundance? What if I told you there's one fix that changes everything? Here's the truth most people miss. Abundance isn't just about working harder or thinking more positive thoughts. It's about something deeper, something hidden beneath the surface of your conscious mind. Your nervous system is running programs right now, programs written years ago, maybe decades ago, programs that tell you money is scarce, that success isn't for people like you, that abundance is always just out of reach. These aren't just thoughts. They're wired into your body's automatic responses. Every time opportunity knocks, your nervous system might be slamming the door shut before you even realize it. But here's where it gets exciting. You can reprogram it. Nervous system reprogramming for abundance isn't some mystical concept. It's about rewiring the deepest patterns in your body and brain. It's about teaching your system that safety and abundance can coexist, that you can relax into receiving instead of constantly bracing for loss. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how this works, and more importantly, how you can start reprogramming your own nervous system today to finally unlock the abundance that's been waiting for you all along. Before we dive into the strategies, if you want the complete framework for rewiring your nervous system to attract wealth, I've put everything in my book, Nervous System Wealth Links, in the description.
We like to think that beneath our skin, we're all fundamentally the same. That a nervous system is a nervous system regardless of the wallet it accompanies. But what if that's wrong? Over the past 2 decades, neuroscientists have made a startling discovery. Wealth doesn't just change what you can buy, it changes who you are at the most fundamental biological level. The nervous systems of the wealthy and the poor are, quite literally, different machines. This isn't about intelligence. It isn't about worth. It's about something far more profound, the way chronic exposure to different environments sculpts the very architecture of our brains, our stress responses, and our body's cellular aging processes. Welcome to the neuroscience of inequality. Let's begin with stress, the foundation of nervous system adaptation. Your stress response system consists of 2 primary components: the sympathetic nervous system, your body's emergency alarm, and the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, or HPA axis, which governs your hormonal stress response. In individuals raised in poverty or chronic economic insecurity, these systems show a distinct pattern. Research from the University of Wisconsin and Columbia University reveals that children from low-income households display heightened amygdala activity, the brain's fear and threat detection center. Their stress response systems are hypervigilant, constantly scanning for danger. This isn't a defect, it's an adaptation. When resources are scarce and threats are frequent, a nervous system that responds quickly to potential danger is advantageous. The problem? This hypervigilance comes at a cost. Chronic activation of stress systems leads to elevated cortisol levels, the primary stress hormone. Over time, this creates what researchers call allostatic load, the cumulative wear and tear on the body from chronic stress. Studies show that individuals from lower socioeconomic backgrounds have measurably higher allostatic load, visible in inflammatory markers, blood pressure, and metabolic function. Meanwhile, the wealthy nervous system operates differently. With consistent access to resources, safety, and control over their environment, the stress response systems of affluent individuals tend to be more regulated with lower baseline cortisol and reduced amygdala reactivity. Their nervous systems, quite literally, perceive the world as less threatening. The differences extend far beyond stress hormones. Neuroimaging studies have revealed structural differences in brain anatomy associated with socioeconomic status. Research published in Nature Neuroscience found that children from lower-income families have reduced gray matter volume in areas critical for academic achievement, including the hippocampus, crucial for memory and learning, and regions of the prefrontal cortex, essential for executive function, planning, and self-regulation. These aren't genetic differences. Longitudinal studies tracking children over time show that changes in family income correlate with changes in brain development. When families move from poverty to stability, children's brain development trajectories shift accordingly. The mechanism appears to be multifaceted. Chronic stress hormones, reduced access to enriching experiences, exposure to environmental toxins more common in low-income areas, and even differences in nutrition all contribute to altered neurodevelopment. Conversely, affluent children show enhanced development in prefrontal regions associated with future planning and delayed gratification. Their environments rich in books, travel, music lessons, and educational opportunities provide constant cognitive stimulation that literally expands neural networks. The wealthy nervous system is sculpted by abundance, the poor nervous system is sculpted by scarcity, and these different sculptures create different capabilities. Perhaps nowhere is the difference more striking than in social cognition, how we perceive and respond to others. A series of studies by psychologist Paul Piff at UC Berkeley revealed a paradoxical finding. As wealth increases, measurable empathy decreases. In laboratory settings, wealthier individuals showed reduced neural activation in brain regions associated with empathy when viewing images of others in distress. They were less accurate at reading emotional expressions and reported feeling less compassion for people facing hardship. This isn't because wealthy people are inherently callous. Instead, researchers believe it reflects neural adaptation to environment. When you're insulated from need, when you rarely witness suffering up close or depend on others for survival, your brain allocates fewer resources to social threat detection and emotional resonance with others' pain. The nervous systems of lower-income individuals, by contrast, show enhanced activity in regions associated with empathy and emotional recognition. When survival depends on social networks and community support, the ability to read others' emotions and respond to their needs becomes neurologically prioritized. This creates a troubling feedback loop. Those with the most power to address suffering are neurobiologically least attuned to it, while those most attuned to others' pain have the least power to act. The differences penetrate down to the cellular level. Research on telomeres, the protective caps on the ends of chromosomes that shorten with age, reveals that poverty literally accelerates biological aging. Studies show that children raised in poverty have shorter telomeres than their affluent peers, even when chronologically the same age. The chronic stress associated with economic insecurity appears to speed up cellular aging processes, leading to what researchers call weathering, premature deterioration of health. The autonomic nervous system, which regulates unconscious processes like heart rate, digestion, and immune function, also shows class-based differences. Lower socioeconomic status is associated with reduced heart rate variability, a marker of poor autonomic regulation linked to increased risk of cardiovascular disease and early mortality. Meanwhile, the wealthy show better autonomic balance, more efficient immune function, and slower biological aging. Their nervous systems exist in a fundamentally different relationship with time itself. Their bodies age more slowly because their nervous systems aren't in constant defense mode. What does all this mean? It means that economic inequality isn't just a social or political problem, it's a biological one. We're not just creating different life outcomes for the rich and poor. We're creating different human organisms with different capacities, different vulnerabilities, and different lifespans. But here's the crucial point. These differences aren't fixed. They're not genetic destiny. They're adaptive responses to environment. The same neuroplasticity that creates these differences can reverse them. Studies on interventions from early childhood education to stress reduction programs to simply increasing family income show measurable changes in nervous system function. Brains can recover. Stress systems can recalibrate. Biology is not fate. The question isn't whether the wealthy have different nervous systems. The evidence is clear that they do. The question is what we do with this knowledge. Do we accept a society that creates fundamentally different biological humans based on economic circumstances? Or do we use this science to guide policies that recognize the profound biological consequences of poverty and inequality? The nervous system you inhabit isn't just shaped by your genes, it's shaped by your world. And that means changing the world can change biology itself. The wealthy may have different nervous systems, but we have the knowledge to ensure that difference isn't destiny.
This is the core of what we teach in our book, Nervous System Wealth. Grab the link in the description.